Jen, how are you? What is up?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for making time and coming on to talk about just all of your accomplishments in the time that we've been working together. And I think I'm just excited to have you on because so many people or so many women watching this interview are going to resonate and hopefully be inspired by where you were and what you've been able to accomplish. So I'm excited to kind of share your
Oh,
story and what you've been able to do.
I'm happy to share.
Awesome. So it's been just over, I guess, just over a year that we've been working together. Yeah, it went by super quick,
Crazy.
but that's the cool part of it, right? Like this time goes by so quick. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's been a year, but you've been able to accomplish so much. And in that time, you've lost 30 pounds of body fat. And that's just one of the things. I mean, you've been able to do that while this was pre-COVID. You were able to go on vacation and go on a few vacations, take some time off, enjoy the foods that you wanted to eat. But
Yeah.
enough about my intro. But what I want to know is where you were prior to us starting. Like, what were you struggling with, and where were things at for you before we started?
Yeah. I have generally always been pretty fit for most of my adult life. And then, like when I turned 50, all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, it was over a period of time, gained 30 pounds and was feeling like super uncomfortable in my body. Had a whole closet full of clothes I couldn't wear. Like noticed just like my performance in the gym wasn't good, like just feeling overall sluggish, wasn't sleeping that well. Anyway, there's a whole host of things, but I was really uh, I guess really wanted to lose the weight, but I also had this story in the back of my mind that like it was going to be super hard to do, and that like I'm 50, like it's extra hard now, all of that. So going in, I was actually kind of skeptical as to what my results would be, to be honest.
For sure. So I guess with before you did, yeah, can you talk a little bit about like what was going through your mind when you were thinking of, wanting to invest? Like, what were those feelings? Like, obviously, there was a little bit of doubt that you could even do it, that you'd be successful, because that's probably a lot of like a very common feeling or thought that people have is like, hey, I want to invest this money, but I'm actually not sure if I'll be actually able to get results from it, right? So,
Yeah.
more to that.
Yeah, no, there was a lot. I have to say, there was a lot of doubt as to whether I could do what it would take. My body doesn't generally react that well to being too much in a deficit. And I was actually kind of a little bit like was coming from a situation where I had been like physically burnt out. And so, like my body had been under a lot of stress, and I was actually really nervous to go back to that place because I was just starting to heal. And I knew like the process of dieting was going to be a little bit stressful on my body, but I was way overblowing it in my mind. So I was like, okay, even if I can just lose 10 pounds, I'll feel better. But like I have to say, there was like a healthy dose of skepticism in there as to what was going to be possible. Like I didn't think it was going to be possible to get back into my old clothes or to get back to some of the things that I used to be able to do in the gym.
So, what made you then decide to do it, to get going, or just to invest in yourself and one?
Um, I knew that I just had to try, like no matter what. Like I didn't like the way I was feeling. And so I knew I just had to try, and like I would do whatever I could do, like, and just see what happened. And it was kind of like a little bit of for me, it was like a little bit of let's just see. But I just knew that something had to change because I wasn't feeling comfortable where I was. And so I was like, okay, this is it. I'm just going to give it a shot. And I know that my own brain can get in the way of me executing things because I'll be overthinking. So I was like, I wanted to hand it over to somebody and just like have somebody do the thinking for me. And then I would just execute. And that's where you came in.
Awesome. So in that time frame, I talked a little bit about the weight loss, but what has it been like since we started working together? Like, what have you been able to accomplish? What's life been like now? Before you were like you wanted to fit back into your old clothes, want to feel better and more comfortable. So what else has happened and what has changed since in the last year?
Oh my God. So much has changed. Like I was in the mindset when I started that I was like, I had to give up everything in order to lose the weight. Like I was just going to have to be like super rigid, super tight on everything and like basically give up all the food enjoyment and the glasses of occasional glasses of wine. That turned out to be not true. And it was like me challenging myself mentally every hurdle I would come up to. So like I'm going on vacation. It's like, okay, well, let me see what I can do, during this vacation. I mean, I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm going to try not to go overboard, but I'm still going to, like, I was in Spain. I was like, I'm not going to pass up on the Spanish wine, like, not happening. So I'm going to have a few glasses of wine. And like, when I came back, I was like, oh, I didn't gain any weight. Like, I stayed the same. I was like, okay, no problem. I can totally do this. And so it was like every time there was a vacation, and there was a few, like I had quite a few trips, I think in the first 6 months that we were working together. And everyone, I just challenged myself to be like, okay, you can enjoy it without going overboard. And then it was just really slow and steady. The weight would just come off. I mean, it wasn't fast by any stretch. Like this wasn't a 6 weeks or 8 weeks lose 20 pounds situation. This was like a year of really gradual improvement. But what it really taught me is that I can enjoy my life. I can enjoy food. I can enjoy glasses of wine, and I can still maintain like my physical goals, like my physique goals. So, and I wasn't in a hurry. That was the other part, is I wasn't in a hurry. Like I knew whatever I was doing was in for the long haul. So I just was like, okay, tonight we're going to enjoy wine and pasta, and whatever it is. And then tomorrow we'll just be back on track. And I think your approach really helped me with that, because it is just like, it's a very moderate, very practical life approach, that was super helpful.
I'm glad to hear it. So that's all good stuff. I mean, you don't want to go to Spain and not have the wine there.
No, that's not happening.
But so last question, since I said, if there's probably other women watching this in the same situation as you, working from home, running their own business, moms, a lot of other priorities. And one of the biggest things is, anyone who's ever over 30, 40 thinking that this is not possible for them. So it's great to see that you've been able to, crush all those myths.
Yeah.
So, last question is, what would you say to someone that's watching this, who kind of resonates with where you were at, who has kind of the same kind of lifestyle as you have? What would you say to them if they were thinking of investing in this program, something like this?
First of all, I would say absolutely do it. And I would also tout the benefits of having a coach to help you through it, because even if you know what to do, and I think I pretty much knew what to do, like I was always pretty fit my entire life, but having somebody to help you navigate, when you hit a rough spot, or when you feel like you can't keep going, or, you just like, you have a question, or you just like need a pat on the back, like having somebody to reach out to be able to give you that guidance and keep you on the right track. Like several times for me along the way where I was like, this isn't working, I'm not losing weight. And then you would go back and you would remind me of like, oh, look at all these milestones. And I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. So without that kind of coaching and support, and also the accountability, like there's several times that you stood in for accountability for me, especially when workouts turned to home workouts. Yeah, like having that, I think, made all of the difference. Like I'm a huge believer in finding the people who know the things and getting them to help you do what you can't do, because you can't know it all. So highly, highly recommend it. I think, what you do is teaching people a different lifestyle skills. And so, spending the money up front for something that's going to be an investment for the rest of your life, it's a no-brainer. Like it's a complete no-brainer. So yeah, I highly, highly encourage anybody who's thinking about it to sign up.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. That was a great pitch at the end there.
Thanks. You can pay me later.
Yeah, no, that's definitely it. You want this to be part of you. They want you, like the reason you've been able to lose weight and maintain it. The reason I mentioned this, by the way, is like the fact that you've been able to do this for a whole year, like it's been a year, is that you've been able to maintain all those milestones. Like it's really like stuck now. It's a part of your lifestyle, and that's really what we want to kind of ingrain here. So I'm glad it's stuck, and I'm looking forward to crushing more milestones.
Yeah, there's going to be some more coming up for sure.
Well, thanks so much for making time for this. Really glad that we could chat and celebrate your success.
Thank you. Thanks for all of your help and support. Couldn't have done it without you.
Awesome. Talk soon.
All right.